Hyena zone.
It's my Hyena zone. It's my Hyena zone. It's my Hyena zone. It's my Hyena zone. It's my Hyena zone. It's my Hyena zone. It's my Hyena zone.
All right, everyone. It's so much to talk about. I'm trying to bring back the Watch With Me Wednesdays. And these conversations are really, really, really important. I don't think we have them enough. It's excuse me if my internet keeps going in and out. The people literally came yesterday and changed the modem and said my internet is weak for some reason. So bear with me, but I wanted to discuss a few topics today. And I wanted to talk about how I feel like this could potentially be Charlene's future and how it's going to be it's not going to go the way she thinks it is, because she has the horrible influence of her hyena mother. And then I want to explain to you guys how just because you feel a certain way does not mean you're going to get your way. And I hope even the hyenas, y'all truly should know that. You're never going to get your way just because you feel a certain way, and you feel, and feelings do not matter. Okay, feelings do not matter in court. It really don't. It's facts. So I've been watching this channel for quite some time. It's a really, really, really good channel. But the path Charlene is going with CJ and parental alienation, it needs to stop. Because if it doesn't, it could put Charlene in an even worse place than she wants to be in. Her kids are going to suffer behind her. Her kids are going to suffer behind it, mainly her older children. Her twins are going to have psychological issues with trust because of the manipulation she brings. And it's never good for the children. It's so sad and so selfish of women like this who try to demonize the father, and the father loves the children. You try to demonize the girlfriend because the relationship is not there anymore. Charlene's behavior has been disgusting, and the supporters that support it are just as equally disgusting, in my opinion, because you know that even the detractors and the hyenas have admitted to CJ being a good father, but now it's something else. Now, and it's always going to be something else with bitter women. Okay. So if Charlene does not stop, this will be her future. All right. Let's get this going.
You're right. Okay. I can't hear
I have a police report, and I need to go, and that his father.
Objection to hearsay. Yeah.
No, we have CPS workers.
I can't hear what they said. You just have to state factual thing.
Okay, factual things is that my son came home and said that he was.
Objection to anything that the child said.
Did you just hear that? Already she going in. Objection is, the fact is that my son said that's not a fact. That is not in. And you know, I appreciate y'all for coming to my live and joining me in this journey, because once I get my certification for court reporting, I'm gonna have to list the behavior. I'm gonna have to dictate word by word of all of this, not bat an eye. Not, I'm gonna have to listen to all types of disgusting men, disgusting women, all types of crazy behavior, and I have to dictate it, be quiet about it, keep my opinion to myself because it don't matter anyway, and just dictate this. So this is a good learner for me as well. Okay, so I want to say Amber right there in the red outfit, I want to say that's the court reporter. That's what I want to say. Okay, it says court staff, but I believe she said earlier in this video something about court reporter. So hey Amber, hey girl, that may be the court reporter. So yeah, let's you trying to relax on the phone already? Let's get into it. Let's finish this already.
The police in Sacramento told me that.
Objection to hearsay. All right, so
in media, and we were told that it is totally okay for us to go back to our home out. our son who says that he's afraid of you. He is
Objection to
actively
hearsay.
lying in order to, I'm sorry.
Today, we have a legal battle between a lawyer and a pro se litigant. The pro se litigant is just not grasping how laws and procedures work despite being corrected multiple times. Watching the defendant's attorney legally battle the plaintiff is just hysterical. Aside from the entertainment between the plaintiff and the defendant's attorney, the reason behind the requested TPO alone makes a great hearing. Overall, this is a fantastic case that I had to share with you all. So without further ado, let's get into the...
All right. So the baby daddy has an attorney. The baby mama does not have an attorney. What are the odds of that, right? It's the same thing. It's the same situation. The woman is bitter. Charlene keeps getting information for her trashy supporters, telling her she can do whatever she wants because of the way she feels. Feelings do not matter in court. They just don't. And there's a reason for it. You can say so-and-so said this and so-and-so said that, and this person is that, and this person is that. If that person is not being questioned as a witness because you didn't subpoena them or have them in court, it's not even going to matter. Just first and foremost, and these women continuously manipulate these kids. This video alone is going to blow y'all mind about the lengths and the depths these women go. And this is the same behavior Charlene has. Let's continue.
The video.
So you can hear what Ms. Simpson.
Okay, hold on, Killa. You said, I'm positive at this point one of her supporters gave her advice to move to Texas during this case. That is probably the worst advice she could have ever received from anybody. If you think you can move to another court and they disregard what the court says, she gonna get the same information that this woman about to get right here. So, Charlene, if you listening, I'd 86 that. I'd abort mission, abort. Because not only is it going to look bad on you in the court, you don't want to make them type of enemies in the law as far as your behavior. Now, they're not going to hate you, but anything that you may need to be protected from will be questioned. And you don't ever want to do that, especially at one point in time you'll need it. You don't want to develop a record of just lying to the courts. That's just horrible. And you don't want to insult the judge in another state by going to another state to get your way. So let's see how this plays out.
All right, go ahead, Ms. Simpson.
Okay, so there's 3 grounds on which we're seeking dismissal of this case. I filed my motion to dismiss. I don't know if you've had a chance to read that, Judge. But okay, so the first ground is that this court lacks jurisdiction. Second, this matter has already been litigated and adjudicated twice in California. And third, my client was never properly served with a copy of the petition in this case. On the jurisdiction issue, this court lacks jurisdiction over my client and this matter because the Family Violence Act provides jurisdiction over non-residents only where the acts of family violence are alleged to have occurred in Georgia. And that's OCGA 1913-2B. My client is not a resident of Georgia. He has never been a resident of Georgia, and the petitioner has not alleged that any acts of family violence occurred in Georgia. The basis of petitioner's complaint is an alleged incident that occurred in California on February 6th. Petitioner alleges that the party's 6-year-old son returned from parenting time with his father, my client, with a bloody knot on his head.
All right. So she claimed that her son had a bloody knot on his head and it was from the father. Most cases with these women, when they don't start getting their way and the relationship that went sour and they lost everything, the next step is to demonize the father. Okay. Obviously, he's not a deadbeat. Obviously, the father wants to be a part of the child's life. That's like, I think that's the green screen. I have a green screen, so that's perfect. Anyway, so So we're looking at this woman here. She thought leaving California and going to the court of Georgia to file a petition against the father while they had motions in place already was going to work. Okay. She thought that was going to work. She thought if I just go to Georgia, because Georgia, like I said, if you're a woman and you're in Georgia and you want to be on some shiesty stuff, they're going to, 9 times out of 10, Georgia's laws are more supportive of the woman. That's why the lead attorney who's been going through a lot of divorce cases out there or child support cases out there always tell the men, you be lucky if you get visitation. As far as this man here, Richard, he's in the state of California in the West Coast. West Coast laws are different from Georgia, right? So he's in California. She thought she can go to Georgia, refile and do something, and Georgia was going to trump California. You cannot do that. And this is questioning when everybody feels like, okay, Charlene, she's moving to Texas. Let's see what she do in Texas. Nothing. Because you can't go to Texas and say, hey, I'm going to file this, that, and the third, and and there's a case. They don't play that. Every court system is connected to every court system. If it's not, they give a phone call. They send an email. They get to the bottom of it. You're not going to just be able to move to a different state and try again. It's just not going to happen. Okay, so let's finish.
Setting aside for the moment the fact that petitioner has no evidence that my client had anything to do with the scratch on the child's head, it is undisputed that both parties and the child were in California when this incident occurred. That alone dispenses with petitioner's claim relating to the child. This court cannot issue a protective order on behalf of the child based on these allegations because this alleged incident did not occur in Georgia. Therefore, this court does not have jurisdiction as to that claim against my non-resident client. The only other allegation of family violence that the petitioner raises in her complaint is that my client allegedly threatened her life, quote, if you leave California. Again, there's no evidence that my client ever made such a threat because he didn't. But again, you don't need to decide that question, Judge. You only need to determine the threshold question of whether such a threat would constitute an act of family violence that occurred in Georgia. And under both the Anderson and Huggins cases that are cited in our motion to dismiss, it's clear that a communication sent from another state, whether by phone or by email, does not constitute an act of family violence in Georgia. The act of placing the call or sending the email are deemed to have occurred in the state where the communication was sent. And petitioner does not allege that my client came to Georgia to make these alleged threats against her. She doesn't even allege that she was in Georgia when the threats were made, allegedly made. She claims that my client threatened her if she left California. But even if she were in Georgia, the alleged act itself did not occur here, and the court does not have jurisdiction to enter a protective order based on this allegation. So petitioner's complaint should be dismissed for lack of jurisdiction as to both the claim she made on behalf of the child and the claim she made on her own behalf. The second ground on which we're seeking dismissal is that this matter has already been litigated and adjudicated in California. Petitioner filed a request for domestic violence restraining order in Los Angeles County on February 9th, based on the same allegations regarding the child having a scratch on his head on February 6th. The Los Angeles court, where an ongoing custody case between the parties is currently pending, held a 2-day hearing on February 17th and 18th, and then dismissed petitioner's request for a restraining order, finding that she had not met her burden of proving her claims, the same claims that she's making here today. Undeterred by her case being dismissed, petitioner refiled her request for a domestic violence restraining order in Sacramento County on March 9th. And again, alleging that the child returned from his father's house with a bloody knot on his head on February 6th. Again, this matter was heard over the course of 2 days on March
Your Honor, that is not what
by the Sacramento court, which found that it was not the proper.
So Ms. Holmes, if when she argues, we'll let you respond. So if you're taking
Okay,
notes,
because that's not
yeah.
true.
Okay, so what she's doing is making an argument. It's a motion. So this is just her. So it's not testimony on her behalf. She's just making an argument. So what she finishes, I see you're taking notes, then you can respond to her motion. How about that?
Yes, yes, Your Honor, I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's okay. Go ahead, Ms. Simpson.
So this matter.
I don't know why people like to interrupt and stop a situation from going. Killer, I don't know how to pin it, but if you look at the bottom, my Cash App is flowing at the bottom. So if people read that, they'll see it right there. But I don't know why people interfere with the judge or whatever somebody's talking. When someone is talking and the judge did not okay you to talk, shut up. It's not for you to talk. Be quiet. Okay? It's no. Just be quiet. Listen. And then, oh, that's not true. That's not true. Okay, well, we're going to believe it's not true because you said it's true. Shut up.
It was heard over the course of 2 days on March 24th and 30th by the Sacramento court, which found that it was not the proper venue to hear the petitioner's claims given the pending custody case in Los Angeles. Petitioner now brings her claim for the third time, again in an improper venue. And because this case has already been decided on the merits by the Los Angeles court, and the Sacramento court has confirmed that Los Angeles was the proper forum to make that decision, res judicata and judicial estoppel bar this court from retrying this matter and second-guessing those decisions. So therefore, petitioner's claim must be dismissed. Finally, this case should be dismissed because my client has never been served with a copy of petitioner's petition. She failed to serve it on him. She only served him with a copy of the ex parte order. He has been able to obtain a copy from the court, but service has not been perfected, and the court cannot enter a 12-month protective order without service. Now, we obviously want to be heard on our motion to dismiss, but we're not waiving the defense of lack of service. So in closing, I just want to note the real reason that we're here, if it's not already obvious. Petitioner is desperately seeking a way around the custody orders issued by the Los Angeles court. The custody case in Los Angeles is not going her way, and she is abusing the court system in an effort to get her way. Petitioner has been ordered not to remove the child from California while the custody case is pending. And now that her alimony has run out, she wants to move with the child to Georgia, and the Los Angeles court has denied her request to do so. So she's looking for a way around that. A psychologist has been appointed as the custody evaluator in the Los Angeles case, and he's been conducting an investigation. The case will be going to final trial there later this year, but petitioner doesn't want to wait for that trial. She's already absconded to Georgia with the child multiple times. She's forum shopping, trying to find a court that will let her circumvent the orders of the Los Angeles court. And this is important.
I don't know if Charlene plans on doing this. I hope she doesn't, but they call that forum shopping. If you're accused of forum shopping, they're going to get your ass. So, Charlene, if you're listening, forum shopping, no. That's against the law. They will get your ass. You do not want to write a check your ass can't cash. So all them goofy hyena supporters telling you to move somewhere, if they are telling you to move somewhere else to see if another state can give you child support or if another state can hear your case, it ain't going to go like you think it's going to go. It's actually going to make your situation worse. So, yeah.
The most recent order from the Los Angeles court, the same court that heard and denied petitioner's first request for a TPO, that order awards my client sole physical and sole legal custody of the child. Petitioner is awarded supervised visitation. Petitioner was ordered to deliver the child to my client on April 22nd at the Sacramento Police Department, and the order provides that if she fails to deliver the child, the Los Angeles District Attorney Child Abduction Unit is appointed to locate the whereabouts of the child, take possession of the child, and deliver the child back to my client. Petitioner failed to deliver the child on April 22nd. Instead, she went on the lam with the child and 3 days later filed her petition in this case. So she and the child are currently in hiding. She has been withholding the child from my client since February 23rd.
Now, see, they don't even have 50-50. He has full custody. Okay, he has full custody. And I would imagine the reason why he has full custody is because the behavior of the mother. This is why it's important to just chill out, do what's best for your children, and move on with your life. Making threats, going on the internet, acting a fool, trying to get public opinion, trying to manipulate your children against your father is never going to work out the way you want to work out. And what I mean by the father's girlfriend, it's never going to work out the way you want to work out. You want it to work out for you. It's not. Okay, you can't win when you're playing dirty, baby, especially not in the court of law. Not in this case anyway. And 9 times out of 10, not in your case either. So he has full custody. You women could keep playing these games in the West Coast about the father, but California, Vegas, and a couple other states are father states. They don't care about what you're going through. They care about the betterment of the child, and they know it's not always going to be about the mother. Exactly, Killa.
Despite the valid valid court order granting my client sole legal and physical custody, he's not been able to see his son in over 2 months. So we're asking this court to issue an order domesticating the April 22nd California order, a certified copy of which was filed along with our motion to dismiss, so that my client can work with law enforcement here to retrieve his son. And so more court and law enforcement resources will have to be devoted to this, all because petitioner wants to keep the party's child away from his father and is trying to pit one court against another so that she can get away with that. We're asking that her case be dismissed and that petitioner be ordered to pay all of the attorney's fees that my client has been forced to incur in defending against petitioner's latest attempt to evade the California court orders. And we're asking for those under both 1913-4A10 and 915-14.
Ms. Holmes, now it's your turn to respond to her motion. Okay, so this isn't you making your case. This is you responding to her motion of the orders in California and things like
Yes.
that. Go ahead.
Yes, and I will also attach the additional evidence. First, I wanted to say that the things that she is saying is definitely hearsay. I have spoken to all law enforcement in Sacramento. I have spoken to the child abduction unit in Los Angeles. I would like to start by saying I would never relitigate the same issue. February, the violence that happened on February 6th.
Let's stop right there. Saying you've spoken to all law enforcement, which is cap, because how the hell you spoke to all law enforcement? Saying that you spoke to all these people, it's not going to matter unless you have some documents and paperwork attached to it and everyone has a copy in the courtroom. Okay, it's not going to matter. Nobody cares. Like, women think, like, even with the situation when they're saying, what do you think Lexi did like this? Oh, she's not supposed to hit you. She's not your mother. Ma'am, do you know they have professionals who can tell when you are coaching the kids or not? Do you know what a forensic therapist is? It's not going to go the way you want it to go. I promise you. I know all your little hyena friends are trying to drown you, but I am trying to save you. You better stop it. Your mama gonna take you down with her. Don't do it. They have to. What you're doing is nothing new. Okay? Women, time after time, have done this. And I want y'all to really watch this video. And I need y'all to brace yourselves because some crazy shit is gonna happen. And it fucked me up. So I know it's gonna fuck y'all up.
When I immediately came here, my ex-husband has manic issues of violence. He is known to be violent, and I have a history of him being violent. On February 6th, when he harmed our son, I told the Sacramento police that we were fearful because he has broken into my house and abused me before. I said that we were fearful, and that's also provided in.
Who the hell breaks into somebody's house to whoop their ass? This is like a Lifetime movie. Anyways, let's continue.
The police report from even 2017 that I sent in evidence. The police told me that it was okay. That
Objection to hearsay, Your Honor.
Okay. But I can't hear what.
I have a police report. And
Okay, but
so
hold on.
I would object to that.
Hold on.
Okay. She said I have a police report, right? A police report is jack shit. Okay. A police report is a paper trail. A police report is nothing more than a report you give to the police. I can call the police right now and I can file a police report on whatever I feel like I need to follow the police report about. That gives the person who you are doing the accusation against or whatever an opportunity to join you in court so they can figure out their case and say what they feel about the case, and they can respond to whatever allegations you bring. And based on the court order is your next move. Okay. So when I hear people say, oh, I got a police report, it's just a paper trail. It don't mean anything. I can go and say so-and-so harassed me at this date and the police is just documenting what's going on. That's it. That's all. They don't have any say so. Police don't involve themselves in civil matters. They only involve themselves in actual crimes. Okay. So what up, Denise? Let's move on. She's definitely listening to the wrong people. And I know her mother be trying to act all smart and stuff, but
Okay, so this is, so what you need to respond to is like her motion. It's
Okay.
not, it's not testimony about anything that's happened, so I can't hear
Okay.
anything else anybody else said.
Okay. So when we were transferred, we came from California to Georgia on the 6th, and then what were made to come back. DFAX was even contacted. He contacted me and told me if I didn't return back to California, he was going to find a way to take RJ and have somebody harm me. We came back and then we litigated there. Los Angeles County does not have jurisdiction over the original violence or any at all, because he doesn't live in Los Angeles County. The only person that is forum shopping to make sure that the violence is heard in a venue that is beneficial to them is Rashawn Holmes. He is an athlete that feels like he is above the law and can get his way. He is on record violating orders. We have final orders that we fought for. The person that is making these orders for, as far as the orders for April 22nd, those orders were made after he already threatened to call the child abduction unit in Los Angeles, and I called them first. Rashawn does not live in Los Angeles and never has had a lease in Los Angeles. I used to live in Los Angeles. I've been a resident of Georgia since November. The person that made those orders is a private mediator that gets paid $2,000 an hour by my ex-husband. He is a mediator to the stars, and he is known for giving rich men their way. Rashawn lied to the Sacramento court. When I did do,
not he is known for giving rich men their way. Girl, you got too many emotions in whatever you trying to do here.
The domestic violence restraining order on March 9th, I contacted the district attorney's office before I even did so, because and her saying that he hasn't seen Rashawn and RJ in 2 months is not true, because after the 6th, I complied and let RJ go again from the 20th to the 23rd of February. So he returned again.
Did she say I complied and allowed him to see him on this date and that date, and this man is supposed to have full custody? Girl.
After the abuse that happened on February 6th. And when he returned back to me, he said that he was still afraid to go and that his father—
Objection to hearsay.
Yeah.
No, we have CPS workers.
I can't hear what they said. You just have to state factual thing.
Okay, factual things is that my son came home and said that he was—
Objection to anything that the child said.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like, so what she's talking about are court orders. You know,
okay, so and the court order from March 9th was made after there was more alleged violence based on the things that was said to me by my child. I then took that—
You hear her say alleged violence based on what her child told her? Yeah, you're going to throw that alleged in there, ma'am, because you definitely don't want to get sued for defamation. Defamation can get pretty expensive. So, yeah.
Information to the proper venue. They, the police in Sacramento told me that—
Objection to hearsay.
All right, so I can't hear what the police said.
Okay, yes, but I was under the belief that I had jurisdiction in Sacramento, and so that the judge on March 9th for the additional violence that took place, and they issued me a restraining order. This motion to dismiss is what he always does, because he has the money to get a lawyer and submit anything into the court. He tried to motion to dismiss the March 9th DVRO 3 times, and the judge— exactly what we're doing now, and the judge dismissed it. When we did finally go to court on March 30th for extending the DVRO, he lied and told the Sacramento, California court, which is in our orders, that he does not live in Sacramento, even though that's where he currently is and that's where he was served. So forum shopping, in order to get the forum in your proper, where you want it to be heard, you lied to the court and told them that you did not live in Sacramento. And you do.
That's okay.
And in order to— one second.
Okay. See, this is already getting turned. Okay. You see how she said, you lied and you did it. You're not supposed to be talking to him. Why are you getting so emotional? This is what I be saying about these women. They have a history of still having feelings for the man, whether it's negative or positive. They got all this information and you did this, and you're not supposed to be talking to the respondent. You ain't supposed to be talking to him. You're supposed to be talking to the judge, and you're supposed to be addressing the lawyer. That's why the lawyer is there. But she feel like, because she in her emotions, she need to get it out. Judges do not appeal to how you feel, girl. They have to be neutral. Okay. They don't care unless it's a crime that they are witnessing that they have to manually, they'd have to report. Then you're just talking. You just yapping your gums. And you're wasting everybody's time, honestly. Court money and everything, tax dollars, all that.
Okay.
So in an effort to continue to get his way, I'm sorry, I had to move around because my son's. After March 30th, him and his family began attacking me in media, and we were told that it is totally okay for us to go back to our home in Georgia. We were only there on visitation purposes. After March 30th, after he lied and told the judge that he did not live in Los Angeles, we spoke to the California domestic violence advocate for the Secretary of State, and I filled out a good cause notification, and I program in California in order to make sure that I lawfully.
Now, if you notice the pattern of these women, and this is what Charlene is doing as well, it's like they go to the same hyena high school, right? The first thing the woman does when they are pissed off or they don't have control is bring up violence, because violence is for sure, even with the TNK family, the TNK squad or whatever. She went domestic violence. It's violence, 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 violence. They'll run the violence and they'll try to get a TPO, a protective custody order. Didn't Charlene try to get a protective custody order against CJ? Like, this is not anything new and different. You are not going to fool the courts with the same bullshit every single fucking woman in this country who is bitter has been trying to do. They see you type of women coming a mile away. It's not going to work. I am trying to help you, ma'am. I know you think your supporters is trying to help you, but they are not. They are sending you to a path of hell. Okay? These women don't know what the fuck they're talking about. You could see this happen firsthand. Let's continue.
Came back to my home in Georgia. We were in domestic violence shelter from March 30th. I even gave him the opportunity to meet with RJ, with a mediator to speak about the things that RJ was saying about what happened to him. He refused. He is only interested in controlling me, controlling RJ, and controlling the situation. Also, the violence has taken place here. A defects worker came to speak to RJ separately, and this is about my 6-year-old saying that he is afraid. And if that wasn't the situation, then the defects worker wouldn't have issued us a safety plan. Also, the police, the Sandy Springs police and the Fulton County police were contacted. I showed them those orders, and the orders from a private mediator that is privately paid on a fiduciary in a fiduciary fashion by one party. Those are not orders by a superior court judge. That is not a superior court judge. I complained to the commissions on judicial performance, and I filled out a appellate and a motion to dissolve the stipulation. What we're in is a mediated stipulation by a hired neutral who is not supposed to be making changes to our stipulation, as you see from the letter that I received from the judicial commissions of performance. He is not a judge. He is not a member of the bench, and he is not a member. And the orders that he creates are paid orders by $2,000 an hour. The stipulation, that is the only thing that the evidence that I wasn't able to provide. This and he is blatantly. If I've done something wrong, it's because I'm just trying to protect our son, who says that he's afraid of you. He is actively lying in order. I'm sorry. He is actively and purposely forum shopping in order to get out of each court. He lied to the Sacramento court to say, "Oh, I don't live here," and now here he is saying, "Oh, a superior court judge." If I called the Los Angeles court, and
she is all over the place. She done went to Spain, to Africa, to Georgia, to Canada, and we're back here. Like, she didn't just hop. She really has. It's a hot mess. Mimi, those text messages that CJ sent was before the shooting, so nobody really cares. Like I said, you shouldn't go to the National Enquirer on that side. They're desperate for attention. They're feeding off of Charlene's energy. They're doing anything they can to diffuse the situation, and it's not working. They already know they lost. They already know that there's nothing. I mean, it's just like when Charlene said it's a win for win-lose. It's the same old stuff. Whether the outcome of when she losing and winning, she still wins, but yet we hear she won full custody. It's the same, and it's getting old. It's getting old. CJ didn't like what the judge had to say, allegedly, or whatever, and she back and forth with the lawyer. It's just, it's the lies, and they're quick to call CJ a narcissist, but that's what they are, Michelle. They're the National Enquirer. Every day they got some type of goofy situation happening. What they gonna say that them kids don't belong to CJ? It belonged to an alien from planet Zonar next week. Okay, they just come out with any type of thing for content. They're trying to make their little money from YouTube while they can, while it's still hot, and that's why they're fizzling out. So I would just really be careful on their information that they bring. They said Charlene won full custody 38 times. It's just the same old stuff. Is this bullshit right here? Is bullshit right there. She done won full custody. He got to pay for the twins to fly over to Texas because she won full custody, and the judge just gave her everything after giving them 50-50 for a couple of months, and he said, "Screw you, we are team royalty, and you can't have your kids, CJ, regardless if you're a good father." Yeah, we believe that. It's terrible. It's terrible. Who knows if she's flying, BJ? You might be giving her a little bit too much credit like that. Too much. I mean, she only made less than $3,000 from YouTube last month. So, whatever. Let's continue.
They know nothing about these orders. This is a mediator that is a mediator to the stars. He gets paid hourly by my ex-husband in order to give his way. If he stops giving his the mediator that made these orders about abduction, and this mediator has also done all different types of unlawful practices in order to give my ex-husband his way, because he is a rich athlete that feels like everything is supposed to go their way. I have been in compliance with everything. We have been divorced since 2019. I have been in compliance with everything that lawfully that I was supposed to do. I would never do anything unlawful because I don't even have the millions of dollars to fight in court. He does.
Yes, girl, we believe you. We believe you. Boss lady, if CJ is paying for flights, for tickets for the twins out of his pocket, that means Charlene has full custody. I'll just throw that out there. Let's finish.
What I'm saying is true and provable down to each letter with a piece of evidence. I wasn't able to provide all the evidence this morning. I was planning on doing all of that before the 13th, but to say that the violence didn't happen in Georgia, it absolutely has. He and his family members are on a line actively threatening me, showing guns, and I have text messages of him threatening my life the day that I served him.
So do you see the trick here of manipulation? I hope y'all caught that. She said that the guy, his friends or his family members were threatening her with guns and text messages and stuff. And then she turned around and said she has text messages of him threatening her, right? So I want y'all to check the correlation with that. She don't have any evidence of them threatening her with guns. That's why she went and said that she has receipts of proof of him allegedly threatening her. Now, he may have said something to like, you better bring my kids back, my child back, or whatever the case may be. And she considered that to be a threat. But she didn't say, I have the proof of them sending me the guns and stuff right here, because she didn't. But if she put those two together for somebody who's just listening, they'll be like, oh my goodness, like he's doing all of this, his family's doing all this, because women like her, just like women like Charlene, trigger the emotions of women so they can get people on their side. That's what they do. They try to trigger the emotions of women, and some women will fall for it. The hyenas are here for it because they'll do the same thing in a heartbeat. And it's this endless cycle of bullshit. So let's finish.
And he was served to the best of my ability. I served the document that I received after our hearing on Monday. I also checked with domestic violence advocacy here just to make sure that what I'm doing cannot be considered forum shopping, because that's not something that I would ever want to do. He is the one that now provided evidence saying that this Superior Court judge ordered, the Los Angeles Superior Court knows nothing about the orders that the mediator Thomas Trent Lewis has issued. Thomas Trent Lewis is not a member of the bench, and the orders that he has created, he is a neutral hired by a law firm.
So this says that Judge Lewis is retired.
He is retired. He is not a judge.
Well, so I mean, you can tell by my accent, I'm not a California lawyer, and don't think I practice law in California. Wouldn't even try to practice law in California. But I will tell you that there are retired judges and senior judges here in Georgia that would take some offense to saying that they're not real judges. So
oh no, I apologize, Judge. Definitely.
No, I'm just saying. So this.
She just insulted that judge. That's not a real judge. Oh, because you said so, you just embarrassed yourself. You just embarrassed yourself and you offended. Like, anyway, let's continue.
I'm speaking in terms of this case. He is not. I'm sure he spent time on the bench. He is a retired judge.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And it looks like. But so let me kind of get you back on track. All right, if you don't mind, Ms.
The topic,
please. Okay. So it looks like these are orders that are signed that have been submitted. Findings after a hearing, federal custody support. They're orders that has his electronic signature. And it looks like they were sent to a couple different lawyers.
Yes.
One of these lawyers, yours. So it was on one's January the 3rd. There's another one that was April the 22nd. So tell me, what is it that you have to say about the April the 22nd? Because the way I'm reading this, you correct me if I'm wrong. Because like I said, I like to tell people, I know when I open my mouth,
no,
Holmes, you gotta keep your camera on, Mr. Holmes. Hold on, wait on Mr. Holmes, because we don't know if he's there, and he's got to keep his camera on, because this is akin to walking out of my courtroom when you turn your camera off.
Your Honor, I don't know what's going on with my camera. I'm still here.
Did you get a phone call? Sometimes you got to. You got to like.
No, No, ma'am. I went on mute and the video cut off, and I'm hitting to start the video now, and it's not starting.
All right. Does it do that if I say ask to start video? There you go.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, ma'am.
Now, no, sir, that's fine. So, so I'm looking at this April 22nd order. Okay. Are you familiar with it?
Yes.
Now she just got through trying to argue. What up, Brody? She just got there trying to argue that the judge wasn't a real judge and they made up these fake documents and all that. Okay, girl, like, what are we supposed to do with that? That sounds like more of an opinion than a fact.
Okay. So it was electronically signed by Judge Lewis on April 22nd. And in here, okay, so this is where I'm kind of having some, because I can call out, I don't know what time it is out there, but I can call out there. It says, let's see, I want to make sure if you got it in your hand, let's see, okay, there's a case number. You're the petitioner. Mr. Holmes is the respondent or plaintiff and defendant. So it says, respondent shall select 3 professionals and monitors to provide said names to you. You shall then choose 3 of those professionals and monitors that you may use for your visitation. So it looks like at some point, you're supposed to have supervised visits and pay supervisor. I'm sorry,
Yes.
he's going to pay supervisor. So this was on the 22nd.
And they giving this woman supervised visits. He got full custody. She gets supervised visits. 9 times out of 10, I feel like it's because of her behavior, because it's really difficult to prove a mother to be unfit. But when their behavior keep turning up and there's nobody to calm them down, these be some of the repercussions. I'm just saying.
Yes, and that was
Supervised
made,
visitation. So this was, and it's signed by Judge Lewis. Okay, so hold on, back up. Wait, listen, go back
What up,
Sorry,
baby?
these are all scanned in. Let me get back to. Oh, there it is. Okay, it's marked. All right. So findings after a hearing. There was a hearing. The hearing proceeded at April the. Let me share my screen so you can see where I'm at.
no, I can see. I know what you're
Okay. So it says it was April the 21st at 8 a.m. Good for Judge Lewis getting up that early. I like it. All right. So 8 a.m. Let's see. Ms. O'Brien appeared at 8 a.m. on behalf of you. Filed a substitution of counsel because you said you wanted to. I guess that's pro se, but pro per. So you wanted to represent yourself. So there's modification, custody and parenting time. Here it said that sole legal and sole physical custody was awarded to Mr. Holmes.
Yes. And after I contacted the family, the Stanley Moss Family Court in Los Angeles, and also contacted the district attorney's office in Los Angeles, orders that are made by a private mediator fiduciary, he cannot change our final orders. They are supposed to be a neutral, and he does not have.
This is a court order. So I mean, like I said, I wasn't there. It says this is a court order. So there was a hearing,
and that was made, and it's because and mind you, the defendant does pay Judge Lewis, and the night before that happened, I made them aware that we were in a domestic violence shelter and how we were being.
So she just basically accused the judge of taking a bribe. Just let it all go to hell. Let's just believe you, ma'am. The judge took a bribe, and everybody's against you, and it's not fair because you're an amazing mom. It's really weird. It's getting weird. Let's continue.
Treated was unfair, and I will be alerting the presiding judge that presides over this stipulation, because everything that is put in our stipulation, and if there are changes made, is supposed to go to the actual Stanley Moss Family Court. When we have Zoom court, they're similar to meetings. So when that was his attempt to, the night before, I emailed them and told them that we were in a domestic violence shelter, and that I was still being threatened, because of course the defendant is not going to say what he's been doing, and it even down to the violence that took place with our son.
So let me see what's so. I don't know what kind of athlete he is. I don't care.
But
Really don't
that was
care.
his intent.
Okay,
You
but
know,
look here, because I don't care. Famous, I'm famous. I'm a big deal. In Atlanta, I'm a big deal.
I know
Okay,
that's right.
so he ain't a big deal. Ain't nobody out here a big deal but me. I'm kind of a big deal. All right.
yes.
Look
And
at
once,
that. I guess he
really,
probably, he's hold on. He's probably tall, so he probably plays basketball, and I'm not impressed with that. I'll tell you why I'm not impressed with that, because I have played basketball longer than LeBron James, but it doesn't mean he's better than me. Okay. So
Yes.
bring LeBron out here, and I'll whip you up too. And I played basketball longer than him, so don't mean he's better than me. Okay, so all
Yes.
that athlete stuff, I don't care.
And I'm glad you said that, Your Honor, because honestly, we can't act like that aspect doesn't exist, because that is one of the reasons why I'm getting threatened. And that's one of the reasons why he wants to stay in private court, because
hold on.
once the
Hold on,
violence.
hold on. So I don't care. So don't worry about talking about money. I don't care. I don't care about that. I don't care who he is. And I'll meet you on the basketball court with Holmes. I'll tell you. But I'm just telling you. Okay, that's it. So I don't care about it. What I care about are these allegations of violence. And like Ms. Simpson had brought up, when has Mr. Holmes been to Georgia and commit? Because here's the thing, something has to have happened in Georgia. So when's Mr. Holmes been to Georgia and been to Georgia and committed acts of violence?
Yes, and what I'm going off of for that is I look to see, does he have ties in Georgia? Does he work here? And did the violence happen in Georgia? He absolutely has threatened me. I've received the threatening here.
But has he been to Georgia to threaten you?
And he also put a tracking device in RJ's bag that we had to get rid of. And his RJ's he gave him an iPad, and he was tracking our every move, which is how he knew exactly where we were February 6th.
Do you hear that? He gave him an iPad, which is tracking his every move. Now, anybody with iPhone devices, Apple devices, know that there's tracking devices on every iPhone there is. Why? Because sometimes people's phone get lost, people's phone gets stolen, and there's a thing called Find My iPhone or Find My whatever, my device, and it's able to locate. But she said that they had to throw away a tracking device. You see how they play on words? Who else play on words? I can only imagine what goes on in that courtroom, child. Because the playing on words is just too much. It's really too much. It's the playing on words for me. That's not a tracking device. It's an iPad. That's what it is. And you just gonna say it's a tracking device. So not only does that tell me that she just really reaching, it also tells me you done threw away the poor boy's iPad that his daddy gave him. Child, the ghetto.
So the violence, and when
you were in court on April the 21st, you were there, right? Yeah, were you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you heard this judge say all this, right?
Yes. But
Right.
I knew that it was based on the judge. That mediator and private judge and Rashawn are friends. He pays the bill. And when I emailed to the night before that court, expressing that I believe that the judge just wanted to, or the mediator, it's his job to give Rashawn his way, because he's the one that's footing the bill, and Rashawn is just actively trying to save face, because now the private court is how he can keep his history of abuse quiet. Once things came to public in Sacramento, that's when he began. Things were in the media, and the threats came harder, and he was upset. He is trying to keep things in the private sector, which only happens in California, New York, and Nevada, where you can even have a private mediator make changes to your stipulation. But that's what he's trying to do, because he wants to protect his brand. He wants to protect things like that. He doesn't want things to be able to be seen in the public specter of the court. But if there is allegations of abuse, it should not be covered up by any private court process. I'm never anything that I have
trying to get you back.
Do you see every time she talk how she got the little smirk on her face? It's like a little. Do y'all see that? Am I the only one who see that? It's like a little. What up, Valentino? What up, Brody? What up, Jasmine? Hey, everybody, Connie, everybody who came into the chat that I probably missed. She's stuttering. She lying. She got the little curl on the side of her mouth because she kind of smirking as she lying. It's too much.
Focused on what has happened in Georgia.
Yes. So what has happened in Georgia, and that's why I immediately contacted law enforcement here. If I was wrong, law enforcement, and I will comply. If I'm wrong right now, I will comply. All I'm doing is trying to protect RJ. So
No, I understand. And on here, you're important, he's important, but this child is important. So, so Ms. Simpson, do you have some contact information for these folks out in LA? The child abduction.
I've not spoken with the child abduction unit in Los Angeles. I have contacted law enforcement here, and I've been in contact with his attorney in California. Not that it's important to the issues before us, but I've been looking for it. I do have a document that Ms. Holmes signed agreeing to Judge Lewis being appointed as the private judge in this matter. As I understand it from Mr. Holmes' counsel in California, that is permissible in California to have a private judge appointed to make decisions in your case. The certified court order from the Superior Court of Los Angeles County issued by Judge Lewis is a valid court order. But again, that doesn't have anything to do with this case and whether or not the violence that Ms. Holmes is alleging actually occurred in Georgia, which it didn't. And you've asked her several times and she's not giving you a straight answer about anything that's happened in Georgia, that my client has come to Georgia to commit any kind of family violence. So I rest again on my motion to dismiss.
So let's just say, for giggles and laughs, let's just say that he did do these egregious things that she's complaining about, right? Let's just say that he is doing what she say he doing. It happened, and if it did happen, it happened in the state of California. Georgia does not have jurisdiction in the state of California. So if she had any alleged issues for real, she would have to take that up with the people in California. You can't get a situation, what up, Val? You can't have a situation happen to you in the state of California or the state of Vegas and run to Texas or run to Georgia or run to wherever and say this person did this here. Like, you can't do that. Well, yeah, she do know her words. She not saying Ferris wheel and shit. I feel you.
Your Honor, I just wanted to make sure that I made it clear that I am saying that when I have contact with the Los Angeles County.
Focus with me. What acts of violence has he committed here?
The harassment, the threats, the stalking of having a tracking device in our son's bag. And even as now, this is our safe place. This is our home. When the so the acts of violence that took place here, the moment that RJ was hit, RJ came.
This is our safe place. This is our home. Mind you, this man has full custody. No, ma'am. Child, the ghetto. This man got full custody and she talking about where they live at.
Came here with a bloody knot on his head. And here his father is actively threatening, even with this mediator trying to, but actively even texting me, him and his family are saying things, threatening and harassing me online, and not to mention his fans, who he insulted me on his Twitter and has his fans attacking me daily, sending me death threats, calling me a gold digger. He is him and his family are actively saying, "I'm gonna get you." Insulting me, calling, "I'm gonna get you. You have to deal with us." That's what his family is saying, that I'm gonna get you. You have to deal with us. And this is, I expressed these things, and for the thing of forum shopping, I told the facts this. I told the police this. I even told the police the orders that were made by the mediator on the fiduciary standpoint. They said that I have.
Okay, when has he been here? how many times has he been here besides?
Oh, he comes here often throughout the year. He used to have a property out here, and he comes here at least 4 to 6 times a year. And he has a W-2. He has a Georgia W-2.
Okay, so
But that has nothing to do with family violence.
He probably plays here, whatever. So, but what when he's been here, like, what has happened here is what I'm trying to.
Most of the things that have happened here have been electronic.
That's hilarious. I'm so glad I'm not an attorney. I'm so glad I'm not a judge. All I gotta do is sit there and repeat what's being said in court and keep my mouth shut, honey. That's all I gotta do, because this will frustrate the hell out of me. And that's why I think that's probably why I get frustrated with Charlene, because how she plays on words and how she tries to manipulate the system. And it's like, that's not going to work. Like, nobody cares. Like, you going to another state and going to another court to trump another court is going to piss people off. And you're not going to be pissing off the wrong people. So, she's a hyena high as gold. She trying to do the most with court. She think because she's a woman, just like with a lot of these women, she think because she a woman, whatever she feels trumps what court says and what court has in order. That's what she think, because she's the mother. She can do and say whatever she want, and she about to find out real quick. Just because you're a mom, just because you're a woman, don't mean you got jurisdiction. If anything, the courts do. When you start bringing the courts in your business to dictate stuff because you can't do it with the father, then that's when the court jump in. And 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be, the results are not going to be what you want them to be. And that's just what it is. What's up, Cat World?
With the, like I said, the stalking, the harassment, the harassment and the stalking happened physically, because he physically placed an item in our son's bag in order to track us. Then the harassment.
When was that allegedly done?
That was in February.
Okay, so it's February of this year.
Yes.
She keeps saying tracking device when it's a damn iPad.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So let's back. So have you been to court in Los Angeles, Sacramento, wherever, California, on that issue?
On that issue, no, only about the violence to my son's head.
So you never brought up the tracker?
Well, I mean, I brought it up, but that was in addition to, like, you know,
y'all see the lawyer? The lawyer like, get him, judge, get him, because I am sick of this bitch. Now, lawyers can't say that. They can't do that. But lawyers have feelings too, God damn it. Okay, all court officials have feelings. Contrary to popular belief, we just be sitting there like, well, I'm not a court official. But if I was a court official, I'd be just sitting there like, what the hell is going on? Okay. She like, get her, judge. I am so sick of this bitch. I can only imagine what CJ lawyer is going through. I can only imagine.
Definitely brought it up, but that was in addition to, you know, I want to make sure that I'm being completely truthful. I brought it up, but that wasn't the reason, like saying, oh, because I had bigger things to worry about, which is the violence. So I definitely brought up that we were being tracked, and as well as my previous lawyer brought up that that is stalking and harassment, that he put a iPad in order with the Find My iPhone on it so that he can know exactly our every move. And then the threats, I have the text message, the threat text messages, as well as his mother tweeting and said, "You're gonna deal with me."
But that's his mother. I just need to know about him and violence.
Oh, him. Well, I've received text on the day that I served him. I received a text saying, just wait, threatening text. I have that, and I submitted that as well. And that's what I have. I've sent those things as well. And when the DFACS worker did come and speak to RJ alone for 30 minutes.
DFACS where? DFACS where?
Not DFACS, I'm sorry. Here, Georgia.
Okay, so okay, got you right there. Okay, so what's your court date on that?
Oh, it's an investigation. DFs.
No, I get it. I did, because I sit down in juvenile court. So here, let me show you how juvenile court works. Okay, somebody makes a complaint. defects goes out and investigates. And then if it rises to the level of need to be looked at, you get a court date. So that's what I'm curious, what's your court date?
So basically, she's doing the same. Yes, they were married. They were married. Basically, she's doing the same thing like she did with the police report. Oh, I got a police report. Police report. Again, even with that, I got an investigation. You got an investigation. When you report anything to any type of services, whether it's CPS, APS, domestic violence, whatever it is, it's going to be an investigation. Why? Because if there wasn't an investigation and we just took people's word for it, then all hell would break loose. Good God. So she tries to play on words and she forgot that these are professionals. Hold on.
I'm not aware of my court date, Your Honor. I just
when did you make the report with defects?
That was Thursday. I want to say the 19th or the 18th, or the 19th, and of April. And this I also provided this in our evidence. The safety plan that was made by my caseworker was made on the 20th.
All right. So I got to focus you back on what has happened.
A safety plan and what they did, that's nothing. What is the judge supposed to do with a safety plan? Let's give the example of the alleged abuse that Charlene is claiming that Lexi is putting her hands on baby CJ because that's something he said, right? Allegedly, right? When you bring these type of allegations up, they don't just take your word for it, genius. They investigate with professionals, with forensic investigators who can tell when the child is being coached or not. They have professional people who can tell when their mother or father is telling a child to say somebody put their hands on them. They know when the accusations are organic or false. I don't know. I feel like it's Charlene's mother who's giving her this horrible advice. But things are not where they were when she was young. That's why she was able to get away with all the bullshit she did when she was younger, because they didn't have the protections that they have now in place. They have those protections now in place. So that safety plan and stuff, that whatever, it don't mean nothing in court. It don't mean nothing.
Physically here in Georgia, because you said he did this in February, so that would have meant you would have been back in California. So what's happened here?
The threats, the stalking, and the harassment, the tracking device, and the threats on my life.
But he's called you on the phone. But he's called you on the phone, or somebody's tweeted or snapped or whatever they did. They've done that, okay? But I want to know what. Tell me what you have to turn. This is a court order. This is what. So, and what Ms. Simpson said is that you're forum shopping, coming here because you don't like the court order that Judge Lewis did April the 22nd.
If you call, I've already put in a motion to dissolve that stipulation. If you call the Superior Court family, if you call the family court right now, they will tell you they know nothing about these orders. I promise you. If you call the family court, not Judge Lewis, not signature resolutions.
Did you see the judge face? The judge is like, bitch, what? How can they tell you that they don't know what she's talking about when they can see it in the computer? The judge pulled it up herself. So why? Oh man, y'all, some of you women just don't have friends. I'll tell you, y'all don't have friends.
Judge Lewis looks for, they will tell you that It doesn't even look like we have gone to court since 2019, because that's the last time we went to public court in the actual family court realm. And when I called,
Well, I think Ms. Simpson said she submitted a certified copy to the clerk's office. So certified copies are when orders have been filed, they go to the clerk's office, and she paid money. He went by there, had somebody go by, somebody went by, got it, got a little stamp, a little seal, sent it to her. So she filed a certified copy here. So these are filed in there in Los Angeles. So somebody's not being completely honest with you or not looking deep enough. So see, it says at the top of it where it says electronically filed by Superior Court of California, Los Angeles, 4/22 at 2:17 p.m. Sherry R. Carter, Executive Officer Clerk by S. Baraja, Deputy Clerk. So it's like here, when Miss Free files something, it gets that same exact thing on there electronically. So these records are in the clerk's file out there in Superior Court in Los Angeles. So
yes, and
I'm
when
still kind of trying to focus you back here because I still want to waste anybody's time. And since you don't have a lawyer, I'm really trying to give you a lot of leeway. I know Miss Simpson's getting frustrated with me, but she understands. So I just want to know what he's done here.
Yes, ma'am.
Because since April the 22nd, a judge, paid for judge, retired judge, brand new judge, whatever judge, because they do, I know they do, because they got all these, out there, they do this, private thing and people agree to it. So, and here we kind of call it like arbitration and things like that. So we'll do some things like that here, or judicially hosted settlement conferences. But what I'm wondering here is April 22nd, you were there, or April 21st, this order was issued on the 22nd. So why did you come back to Georgia and bring the child here?
I was already there. I was already here. I contacted all law enforcement. I was already here, and I was told that it was okay for me to come here.
Who told you that?
In our police report. I told the police that we were coming here, and I filled out a safe at home and a good form notification
right,
because we were in a domestic violence shelter.
Okay, so you've alleged
these hyenas always try to go the violent route, whether it's domestic violence or abuse to a child. Men, please pay attention. Please pay attention.
these same things in a couple different counties there.
No, not the same things. The harassment text messages, these are new.
Okay.
I would never just keep doing the same thing. I'm just trying to let you know the history of violence. But these exact things that I'm arguing with you have not been argued in Sacramento, as far as the harassing and the threatening, because he just wants to be able to control and have me be in a place where he's not even going to be, because he's about to get traded. But you want us to be able to travel around with a child that has ADHD. And
yeah, he's not even going to be there because he's about to get traded. See? No, ma'am, stop. Oh my
and that
God.
you is saying that you harmed him and is afraid of you. And when the DFCS worker in Sacramento, as far as the harassing and the threatening, because he just wants to be able to control and have me be in a place where he's not even going to be, because he's about to get traded. But you want us to be able to travel around with a child that has ADHD, and that you is saying that you harmed him and is afraid of you. And when the DFCS worker came and spoke to RJ alone, she put a plan in place saying that there is present.
Objection. I'm going to object to hearsay as to what the defects worker said or put in a safety plan.
I've provided the safety plan for you all as well.
I still object to hearsay.
I got a feeling this defects worker hasn't reached out to Miss Simpson or to Mr. Holmes.
She has reached out to Mr. Holmes, and Mr. Holmes has not.
We don't know that because she's not here.
Oh, okay. I was just letting you know. She did tell me that she
Objection to what she said.
So if we could get you back on, is there anything specific that he has done here Did he come here and sit outside of your house? Did he come here and follow you around? Did he come here and stand in your front yard and scream at you? Did he come here trying to track you down?
Yes, well, not physically. He just I'm just gonna tell you the truth, and if it, that's the truth.
Yeah.
And so the truth is that he has threatened my life via text message, and that he has threatened to take RJ and have me never see RJ again, and he has tracked us and stalked us here.
Saying threaten. Do you see how she said threaten to take RJ and tell me I will never see him again? No, you won't, because you've proven that when you take the child, you can't return the child, and he has full custody. That is not a threat. Girl.
And that's what I have for here in Georgia. And
how old is RJ?
6 years old, and he has ADHD and on the autism spectrum.
Okay, so where is he at right now?
He's with me.
Okay. Well, I mean, can you if I put this in a breakout room, can you put him on the camera?
Absolutely.
All right, so I can talk to him, Miss Simpson. You have any objections with me talking to him?
Nope.
Miss Simpson?
I don't.
Okay.
I'm fast forward to this because she's gonna get the child. Watch this, y'all. This gonna mess y'all up.
Please sit down. Here.
Watch this. Look at the father. Y'all brace your hearts. This is
Madam Court Reporter, we'll go off the record for a second. I will.
Hi, friend.
Big boy.
Are you gonna let him hold the phone for me? Or sit
Yes,
down
I'm about
for
to take him.
All right, I'm gonna
What's
put us.
up, big boy?
I'll put us in the breakout room.
No, please sit down. Here.
Hey, RJ,
What up,
RJ,
big boy?
tell him, Dad, tell him to be cool. Talk with me for a second.
Honey, please come and sit down and talk.
look at her smirking.
I'm sorry, I ain't seen him
Look
for
at
so
her
long. He got so big on me.
He ran away because he doesn't like to talk on the phone to his dad. You see me chasing him.
Okay.
RJ, please.
Here, I'll put us in the breakout room so he won't be
Yeah,
able to see.
because he's, like I said, he's actively afraid of his father. That's
All
why
right,
he's
join the
so
breakout room.
Oops.
Mr. President,
I'm sorry. I'm gonna go back. My bad.
the
That like really threw me off. Hold on. Let me go back, y'all. Forgive me. That is parental alienation. That's parental alienation. That is when you try to tell a child that their father's a bad guy, be afraid of your father hit you. These women do stuff to manipulate the child. You see how the man, he was so happy to see his son, and he's like, oh no, the boy is scared because she done put all this stuff in that boy's head, and he's smiling, he's happy to see it, and see his child. And she was like, see, he doesn't want to see his dad because he's scared. And she's happy about this shit. Like, this shit is like what the fuck? This is too much. And this is what I feel like Charlene is going to do. I honestly, truly feel like she's going to do that. Exactly. This is, and the boy is on the spectrum. So you're like really manipulating him to believe that his father is evil. That's disgusting. Now we got to hurry up because I got to go get my daughter from school, my 3-year-old daughter from school, the same age as Dea and them. But you know.
Be back, Mr. Holmes. Miss Simpson, Madam Court Reporter.
Look, the dad crying and shit. That's fucked up. Look at that. This is a lot. This is a lot. And these women do not care. They don't care who they're affecting. They don't care who they're mentally destroying. They just That's crazy. So they're gonna bring the boy back in the room.
There he is. I showed him some magic.
There you go. There's mommy's friend. You can talk to her, and I'll give you a peppermint.
We outside of the breakout room though. You wanted to see my magic again, RJ? You ready?
I'll get you a peppermint.
All right, I got it. I'm gonna be showing everybody my magic though. Okay. Well, this is like the Wizard of Oz. I'm pulling back the curtain. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. What's this? Boom. Oh, let's see. That was magic, right, RJ?
Yeah.
All right. You gonna learn how to do that?
Yeah.
Look
Right.
at the
I want to see when you do it. And your grandma is my superhero too, and I bet you grandma bought you that shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, grandmas are great, aren't they?
Yeah.
All right, we go. You can put your mom back on here.
Okay, kilo.
You all good?
Yeah.
You can just say thank you. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, RJ.
Can I go play now?
You can go play now.
Go play.
Yeah.
Can I go
Thank
with you,
you.
RJ?
You're
Can I go
welcome.
with you to play? That's what I'm asking.
How about kilo?
Are you sure? Because once, are you sure that because once he gets back in that yard, it's gonna be hard to wrangle him back in.
I'm good. We'll go.
Okay.
We'll go back on the record.
see how she laying that shit on thick. Oof.
So here's what I want you to do, Miss Holmes. I'm trying to get in touch with California.
Mommy, I watched iPad last night. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Please don't watch iPad at night again. It's okay. Mommy's gonna talk to her friend now. But
Your turn.
my turn.
Do you hear how he apologizing to his mama? I watched iPad last night. I'm so sorry. I wasn't supposed to do that. Do you see that? Why is your child so scared that he just out there doing what he want to do in the middle of the night? My kids do stuff that they know they're not supposed to do. But they're not going to be like, I did that, mommy. I'm sorry. Oh, no, I'm going to get in trouble. I don't know. Just an observation.
How about Kilo?
Our dog, he can talk to Prentice. Okay, go ahead and play with
Come
him.
on, Kilo.
She really trying to
Sorry.
pretend like she
I'm going to the other room now.
That's okay.
Tiana, is there any way I can talk to him? I just ain't.
Oh yeah, you can talk to him. RJ, you want to talk to your dad?
No.
You sure? You want to talk to daddy?
No.
Why not? No, here you go.
No,
you wanna
we're not
talk
gonna, we won't do this.
RJ.
We gonna do this. We gonna let him. All right. I put you on mute, Miss Holmes. Okay, so you need a second, Mr. Holmes?
That is a motherfucking shame.
Mr. Holmes, you can turn off your camera and take a second if you'd like.
Look at her trying not to smile.
Ms. Simpson, have you had any luck getting in touch with
Look at her.
Judge
Evil
Lewis?
as hell.
I was
Look
able
at
to
her.
contact the attorney in California who's emailing him now. She said that she thinks his staff doesn't get in until 8 a.m. out there, and it's 7:48 right now. So
How about then we take like a 10-minute break, okay? Give me put you and your client in a breakout room.
sure, that'd be great.
All right. Let's see. There's you and we'll put you, your client, in a breakout room.
Okay, yeah. I see.
And then so we'll take a 10-minute break, Miss Holmes.
Look, she's trying not to.
You may have to call him and tell him to swap over to if I want a social worker to chat.
Your Honor.
So since Ms. Holmes and Mr. Holmes, I'm just gonna drag this out just a wee bit longer. Mr. Holmes, I don't know your schedule, so you can chat with Ms. Simpson, see if I want a social worker to chat with RJ since I couldn't get a lot out of him. So when could you be here, Mr. Holmes? And Ms. Simpson, you're here. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Unless you plan on flying, when could you be here?
I'm out of season, so I can come to Atlanta whenever is required, man.
Definitely available tomorrow.
So now he has to go all the way from California to Atlanta to deal with this shit.
So do I still have to stay away?
Well, I'm just gonna figure Miss Holmes will bring the rest of her documents. I'm gonna finish looking at Miss Simpson's documents. If she has anything else, she'll send it to me, and just waiting to hear back from that court out there in California. So, but I'd rather Dr. Taylor talk to him since that's where she's trained in.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, that'll be better. So I guess you should probably sorry. I mean, I hope it's not head to the airport now. Maybe you and Miss Simpson can make a plan. And I will see y'all at 8:30, and we'll do an order, and we'll send it that they will let you folks both in at 8:30. So that means you can get at the courthouse, 136 Prior Street, Mr. Holmes.
All right. So this is basically over. They had to go to court, and the person cut that off. You guys can go to Mrs. Fields' production. She got a lot of great content. She got a lot of great information out there. Before I go, though, this is the results of this woman's behavior. All right. He ended up suing this woman for defamation. He ended up suing this woman for defamation, and he got full custody of his son. I'll post the article in the chat for you so you guys can read it. And just understand, you cannot win when you playing dirty. You can't win when you play dirty. You can't. It's not possible. So all you who think it's okay to defame people, say that babies is getting hit, saying kids is getting abused, all of that action. Hold on, let me post it in the chat. Y'all can go read that for yourself. He sued and he got his child. There you go. There you go. So y'all, let me go get my child. And I will holler at y'all later. Thank y'all for watching with me this fiasco, and just know that there's a lot of women out there. And this is a message to Charlene. You can continue alleging that something happened to your child, but if you do not have the proof, you can get sued for defamation. I don't think you want to do that. You already owe enough people money, don't you think? All right, y'all. I'm out. Squad.